Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Book Talks. And this time I'm going to talk to you about the technical manual. Before we begin, as usual, message from the sponsor, that is myself. Check out my website and the page specific about the books I wrote. So check it there, and I hope you will get inspired to buy some and support the channel. This said, the book of this time, Ilford Manual of Photography. This is a great, absolutely a fantastic book about photography, about film photography, obviously. And I have two of them here because this is an edition from the 50s, and this is actually the first edition that was published in 1942. By the way, I got these books online from Abbey Books, and for probably I paid them $1 or something like that. So I like to look for old books, and I find always inspiration in these. The fantastic thing about a book like this is that we are used now to technical books that teach you just a little part. You can find book of I don't know, landscape photography or how to use filters or all these kind of things. If you look at the book like this, is really deep. You start from how the image is formed, the wavelength, how the light interacts with the film. There's a lot of parts about optics and so on. And by the way, it's the same philosophy that I used in Photographic Manual. But you go on, and all these books are deeply technical, are going very, very deep in the subject. You have all the part about sensitometry to expose your film, all the techniques to making pictures, and everything you really need to know about photography include the formula of the developers, how they influence your images, and so on. And you arrive at the end where there's even some chapters how to mount your pictures, to expose them, to exhibit them, and so on. It's really, really deep. And I love this because these books didn't start with the idea that the public is stupid and afraid of a little mathematical formula or this kind of things. These books are fantastic because they give you everything you need, and they assume that, okay, if you have problem to understand the formula, you will just go on and learn what it means and read it twice until you understand everything. And a book like this gives you really all you need as basis for forget any different subject. If you study on a book like this, you don't need a manual that tells you specific things for landscape. I speaking here on the technical side, not on the composition or inspirational side, but on the technical side, you will know exactly how to expose for a panorama, what lenses to use, and what film to use, and so on. And these kind of books are great also for digital photography, because a lot of the things you learn here can be transferred to digital photography if you simply substitute the film, the sensor with the film, or the film with the sensor. And so this is great book. You can find it online really cheap, and you can have really a lot of information, a lot of knowledge from something like this. And yes, it's something that you need to want to go a step further in your knowledge of the photographic medium. You need that because you need to think, okay, I want to read a formula. I want to know something about optics. Also, if it involves to understand some mathematical formulas. I want to know something about chemistry. Here, for example, is impressive how they give a lot of chemistry information and they assume that the people can read them. So that's really something that I love about these old books, that they assume that the people reading is smart, has a brain, and can arrive at can learn also if is not all told as talking about third grade kids to a third grade kids. So I really love the style of this book, and I would love to have similar books about modern photography, but sadly, exactly as the scholastic institution changed, nowadays everybody start with this idea that the reader is a person afraid of thinking, afraid of mathematics, afraid of chemistry, afraid of everything that is a little bit more complex than the usual. So this is the fact. This is why I love these books. And another things I love, there's not many pictures, but there's a lot of drawings and schemes and all these kind of things, and that really make you understand how deeply things works. And just a fantastic book. Obviously, it's from 42, so when it talks about the cameras, you don't even have reflex camera, or better, you have the first reflex camera. I see them here, and there's already some 35 millimeters Leica contact. So, but obviously, it's related to a different era. A book like this is really worth to read, and the style used to write them is also much more poetical than we are used to. Light radiated from the sun travels through space and impinges upon the crowded surface of the world. Something like that is it's kind of poetic if you think about it. And all the book is filled up with this kind of description, and really it's amazing how much poetry can be inside a very, very technical book. So I like the description, I like how it's made, I like the fact that there are all these drawing to show scheme of light and all these kind of things. It's something that lets a lot of interpretation. It gives you a general schematic idea, and you are the one that has to put to transform these drawings and this description in what is an image in your head. So it's very nice. It's a very rational way to transfer knowledge, and with just enough description that create that the image that is used to transmit the emotion and the passion for photography. So this book really suggested. Look for it, buy it. It's not important what edition you get. If you want something more recent, there are you look for the most modern edition. I think it was published until the 60s or 70s. So you can go a little further. First edition was 1942. I love the first edition, and that's all about this book. So as usual, before we end, again, if you want to support the channel, please put a like, subscribe to the channel, and share the channel with your friends. I need to see the channel grow a little, so I will be stimulated to go on with this video. And if you want to do something more, check out my books on my website, and here just an example of 3. Photographic Manual. It's all the basics you need to know about photography, and Lasting Photographs is a novel very nice read, very good reviews online. And Inkjet Fine Art Printing is my last book and is about printing inkjet at home to create fine art. Thank you for watching. See you next time with another book.